Welcome back to another edition of Golf DMV, sponsored in part by Cache Spine Sports. You got to get your back right. Check out Dr. Smith new offices. I was going to say right off New Hampshire Avenue, but she's not at those offices anymore.
She is at the office. She moved within the same building to a bigger space.
Correction. Right conveniently off of the Capitol Beltway, New Hampshire Avenue, new space, same building. And that's how it happens sometimes. We do that. We move to new spaces in the same buildings. One way or the other, the official chiropractor of Golf DMV. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We've got, LB spent some time with the APGA down in Valhalla, so we're asking some questions about covering that event. We got a chance to get out and play the Woodlands. We'll talk about that. Jordan Spieth got walked down by Jason Kokrak, whose last name sounds like it could be in a rap song, Kokrak. You know what I mean? Like you can do some wordplay with that. You know what I mean? I want to see what Jay-Z or J. Cole or somebody can do with Kokrak. I mean, they could do some stuff with that, I think.
Young Kokrak.
Exactly. And then let's see what else. U.S. Women's Open is coming up this week. They're going to be at the Olympia Club, right? Or something like that, I think is the name of it.
I think so.
I've never seen this place, but I've never been there. But all the video and pictures that I've seen of the Olympic Club, I mean, super, super nice and super hard. So I can't wait to see the ladies play. Did you guys watch the match play stuff with the ladies? I did. I watched a little bit of it.
You did. What'd you think?
I mean, I thought it was cool. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not a big match play person. I'm not a big team thing. You know what I mean? So stuff like that, I don't really kind of tune in for. But I did find it interesting that some of the ladies who made it all the way to the end. I don't remember the lady's name who won, but I think she beat Sophia Popov. But they have a pretty short turnaround time. Some of the ones who made it all the way through the weekend, because they had to play the semifinal and the final in the same day. Mm-hmm. And so that's a really quick turnaround to have to go to the Olympic Club and get ready and stuff like that. So, but we'll see. I mean, they're pros, and they get paid reasonable money, I guess, to do this if you make it that far, and you're winning. But first, let's talk to LB, APGA in Valhalla. You were there. You and Rodney, our Golf DMV Louisville correspondent.
Yes.
And so here's the main question I have before we even ask about your observations. We talk a lot about these guys, and they're trying to move from APGA up through like Korn Ferry to get to the PGA Tour, right? And there had been some guys who got special sponsor exemptions to PGA tournaments, not making cuts. What I want to know is you've been to see the guys on the PGA Tour. You've seen them live several times. This is your first time seeing the APGA Tour guys. Just from your perspective, you know what I mean, as your everyday golfer, passionate about the game, you watch the pros, what was the main difference between some of these guys on the APGA Tour trying to get to be on the PGA Tour and just your run-of-the-mill PGA Tour player that you've seen, and again, like, so you watch a little different than I do. Like, I like to follow certain players. You'll post up at certain spots and watch groups come through. So you've seen guys who are, some of the well-known names, but you've seen some guys who...
So no names.
Journeyman.
Right. Yeah. Journeyman. Mm-hmm. And so
the donors.
Even with those guys, what are the differences between some of these APGA guys who are aspiring and what you've seen on the PGA Tour?
To be short, I think it's accuracy. I would say, take that back. I would say accuracy and recovery. Okay. I saw, just for example, we followed this one group for about 3 holes consecutively. We watched every shot they made. For example, the first hole is a dog leg left. 3 guys played. 3 of them were none of them hit the fairway. They were all in the rough. Okay. But they were at the turn of the dog leg. So they all had a good straight shot into the green.
Right.
Okay. Out of the 3 guys, 1 guy was on the green. The other guy, 1 guy went in the bunker to the left. The other guy went left into they had like a runoff area, down a little slope, but it was still first cut right off the green.
Right.
The guy who was on the green 2-putted for a par.
Okay.
The guy in the sand trap got out. He finished it. He made his putt. And he got in. The guy who was in the grass in the first cut, he duffed his shot like we do. I mean, he did. That's what he did. I mean, he had to get up a little mound to get over and to let it run down to the green. He needed to hit it. I don't know. Let's say he had to hit it 8 feet. He hit it 6.
Oh, no.
And it stayed up there on that little hill. So he had a shot right there and then another shot. So I think he actually got a bogey on that hole, a double bogey on the first hole because I think he 3-putted after that.
Right.
Well, maybe 2-putt, but whatever. Those were the kind of differences. You don't see that a whole lot in the pros. One, they hit the green starting off, from that distance too, because it wasn't a long hole. It was probably, for us, it was probably been a 6 iron max from the dog leg turn into the green. So it wasn't super long or difficult or anything. But they just missed the green. Second hole, one guy was in the fairway, 2 were in the rough, looking for balls and scrambling and that, that kind of stuff. I think that's one of the differences because they all were long. It was they all were hitting the ball really long, But
you almost have to in order to
if you play from those distances, you got to be long. That's a given.
Length is never the issue. So it sounds it's safe to say then LB that that's pretty good. So you said recovery and accuracy. Where if we take that same we just wanted to put some run of the mill journeymen, some middle of the pack guys from the PGA. Even when they miss though the green, right? So even when they on the runoff area, whatever, there's never a thought about. I was like, that's fine. That's up and down.
Yeah, he's gonna get up and down. He's gonna save bogeys. That's what they did.
These guys were fighting though to do.
They were fighting to save bogeys and double pars and stuff like that. I was really shocked at some of the scores, and I apologize to our listeners because their website. I'm on their website now, and for whatever reason, the scores from last week are not there. They were there Monday because I looked at them.
Right.
They're not there today. Call the APGA, ask what the hell they're doing with their website. But I can tell you from what I remember, there was a lot of scores. There was probably only, I'm going to say 10 guys that were, and I take that back. It may not be that many because I think the first day was -4 was the top score, something like that. Right. So it was a bunch of guys that were over par. For the round, there was some +12, some +16s. It was some ugly scores out there. And again, Valhalla is not the easiest course in the world either. It's beautiful, but not the easiest course at all.
Well, one of the things we brought up in the chat though, I asked Claude too. I was like, we started going back over the history of Valhalla, right? Like the PGA Championship in I think it was 2014 and 2000. 14 or 15. 14, yeah, it was 14. 14 with Rory McIlroy in 2000 when Tiger won. Like you said, it's not a hard course, but then I go look at what the PGA players shoot there. Even like some of the guys that made that that missed a cut or whatever. And I wonder if. And I'm sure no APGA player would ever come in here and admit to this, but I wonder if while they're playing that and you're putting up +8 or +10, you think to yourself, damn, man, Joey Johnson, who you've never heard of, who's got his card, came here and shot even. You know what I'm saying? Because it might be one thing if they play a track that maybe the PGA doesn't play, but when you come to a PGA track, it's going to be hard for me not to have compare. Not to compare, exactly. To have in the back of my head, what did so-and-so do here? Not even the best in the world, just the middle of the pack.
Right. Yeah, and the other thing too, the APGA didn't play from they didn't play from the tips. Let's say it that way. They had their own marker that they had set it. All the other tee boxes, there were no markers at all. Okay, but they only had the one tee marker in wherever
they were playing from.
Yeah, whatever they were playing from. That's the only thing that was there. So there was no real. I couldn't compare. Okay, this is where the PGA would play from. This is where I would play from. That kind of stuff. It was just that one tee marker, but it was never. From my recollection, it was never the last tee box. It was always one up. And I think they had it on their website at one point. And I want to say it was somewhere around of 67, 68. I'm thinking.
I thought it would have been 7 off break. Okay.
I don't think it was that high.
Because the course is long. The course is like 74, 78. I'll have to pull it up. The course is long.
Yeah. The course. Yeah, the course is absolutely long.
Yeah,
that's interesting that they wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think they were playing from the 7,000. I don't think they're playing from that yardage. I could be really wrong. So just an example, I'm pulling up because I couldn't get the other one. I'm looking at
7,400 yards.
That's what see, it says that here too on the TPC Louisiana, which is where they're playing this weekend. It says 74.25. That might be for the course. That's not necessarily where they're playing from.
Right.
See what I'm saying? And I know they did not play from the tips. That much I would put money on that. On my remembrance that it was not the tips.
Side note, Google, not very helpful. I'm doing some research on the fly. I said Valhalla Golf Club linked. Google said 4.238 miles. Hey, man. Context, Google. Come on.
Right. Honestly. Come on. Computers. So overall, your thoughts and experience there. I mean,
so it was nice. I was really glad to be there. Let me get some shout outs too.
Please do.
Too far. First, we need to shout out. I lost his name. Keith Reese, who is the GM at Valhalla. He sat down with us and did an interview. We'll post some stuff of that at some point. Really nice guy, very helpful. Even when I called him prior to going down there, because I didn't get a lot of information from the APGA, unfortunately. So I called.
That's wild because you got a media group that's trying to come and highlight what you're doing. Yeah. You don't, you don't help out at all. Like that's
well. Apparently, we sent emails were sent to them. They never responded. Yeah. So that's how I ended up calling Valhalla directly. And fortunately, Mr. Keith Reese was really nice. And helped me out, told me what was going on, how to go about it, how to get in, all the ins and outs. He gave us a golf cart so we didn't have to walk. So we could basically ride the whole course and check on all the players.
Thank you, Mr. Reese.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And by the way, anytime he feels like comping around, we'll come down and play and we'll buy food. But I mean, if you want to comp around, let's get on the course and we'll talk about it on the show.
Buy a bag of chips.
Yeah. I'm sure he needs more pup from us.
We'll buy a bag of chips.
Split it 3 ways.
Water and split it.
Yeah. The second person at Valhalla I want to thank is Brayden Kelly. He's from Colorado Springs. He's in the golf management major at I guess he's at Colorado Springs, but so he's on the internship there at Valhalla for the PGA management program. So we ran into him. We were looking for some water and we kind of lost and we're looking for something to eat. They have snacks and they had water at most of the holes. So he directed us how to get some stuff. And then later on, we were still thirsty. He found us some more water. He was just helpful. Every time we needed something, he was like our guy. Once we found Brayden, he took care of us. So I want to definitely shout him out. Good dude. And I have to thank Rodney too for his hospitality and actually helping us. And actually Michelle, his wife, because she they took good care of me there. And she cooked a really good breakfast. What was that, Sunday morning? Whew, man. It was really good. But yeah, so those are my shout outs. Then back to the course. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed seeing the guys play and talking to them. We do have an interview that will be coming up with JP Thornton. He did a really good video interview that we did after the round. That we'll cut that up Vern will cut that up and edit it and everything and post that sometime here soon. Really good guy. Nice to meet him. Good time talking to him. Some of the highlights for me, at least, was I spoke to quite a few. Well, most of the players that we were around. You could get a word in. Most of them would talk to you. They were pretty cool. Some were a little standoffish. It is what it is. Another thing I found interesting was there were some parents of players there. Mm-hmm. So when we first got there, I thought those parents because they were following the group. So I just assumed they were marshals or something like that because they were following the group. They were looking for balls and stuff. Right. Until I got to talking to one, and it turned out she was actually the parent of one of the players. Mm-hmm. So I talked to her, told her who I was, why I was there, and gave her a card and said, "Hey, if you would be interested in doing an interview, just talk about your experience as a parent, mm-hmm. Supporting your child, trying to get through this program." Right. She didn't want to talk. She said, "Well, maybe my husband will talk." And so later on, I got to talk to him. He was like, no.
As a test next time when I'm there, I'm gonna say, hey, I represent Scott Van Pelt. I'm here with ESPN. We just want to see just see how thirsty they are. Just oh yes, please. Actually, it's golf day. Oh well,
right.
Same thing.
Yeah, to see if they change. It's interesting. I don't know why they were so reluctant. I felt there was another couple. I ran into another lady, another hole, and I asked her. I said, "Oh, are you a parent?" She said, "Yeah, that's my son." But whatever. I was like, "Oh, cool." With Golf DMV, would you mind just doing a little quick interview? We just talk about you as a parent, and your child. No, she was quick. No. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Wow. So I don't know why parents shied away from talking about their kids. And I wasn't there to do anything negative. I mean, it's, I'm here to try and get you some
puppy. Right. Eventually, we'll find the LeVar Ball of golf parents who won't shut up about it. Eventually,
we'll never be able to shut them up. Right?
We'll never be able to shut them up. And also, I think it's interesting, Claude. It's a tie into your what you've been talking about for the last couple of weeks with Manny, the junior PGA. Adults still following around the kids to this day, looking for balls, taking scores. So you got a lifetime of this coming up, Claude. Manny gets an APGA and the Corn Ferry.
Exactly what they want to do.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Claude. So to the other point, we talked about this earlier, and I don't know if this is where we're going to next, but we'll cut to the chase because I'm almost, The question was, and I'm going to paraphrase, you can correct me when I go astray, Claude. The guys that are on the APGA who have these dreams and aspirations of making it to the PGA, from what I saw, this is my estimation of 14 handicap dude. I love the game, enjoy the game, but I know my limitations. Mm-hmm. Some of these guys need a wake-up call.
Okay.
And I don't know their financial situation that they are able to travel in the country and play in these tournaments and shoot, 85. I'm not. I mean, I'm not. Please, people, don't take it as me being,
You're not dissing. You just keep it in one. You just keep it.
It's just what it is. I mean, if you have the funds and you enjoy it and whatever, and you're gonna ride around the country and shoot 85s, then okay. Right. I mean, I got no beef with that.
Right. That's your thing. That's your thing.
Yeah, that's do your thing. But I guess for me it is if everybody I talk to, the goal was the PGA. Mm-hmm. You can't shoot 85 on the APGA,
right,
and expect to make the PGA. At least this is coming from a 14 handicap dude. Nobody,
right.
But it seems to me that if I'm good enough, if my dreams is to make it to the PGA, I am on the APGA tour, I should be waxing their asses.
Right. Well,
you know what I'm saying? Because
and then at what point
the elite makes it to the PGA?
Right.
You're not going to be Rudy Poo on the APGA and make it to the PGA.
Well, and then some of these guys who are on tour don't even make the APGA stop. They don't. I mean, they're good enough to jump right to the PGA Tour. They don't need that.
That's
true. You know what I mean?
Right. Or the Corn Ferry, they skip right over that.
Right. I mean, there's just some guys who don't need it.
Yeah.
And so like and I think Vern brought this up. Like, at what point do you say, all right, even if because we've seen guys who kick butt on the APGA Tour and they struggle on Corn Ferry, or they'll get these sponsor exemptions to the PGA Tour and can't make a cut. Mm-hmm. And so at what point, and like you said, unless you're content with the lifestyle of struggling touring pro on the APG, on all the mini tours, and that's just the lifestyle that you live.
Right.
Or, do you want to, say, you know what, I'm going to go the teaching route, or I'm going to do something different because this is not, I've achieved as much as I can achieve trying to be a professional golfer. And I don't know. I don't know if competitors have that, because we talked about that even when it relates to us. Mm-hmm. Like, we're trying to get better. We're taking lessons. We're buying new clubs. We're playing all the time. We're practicing. We're doing this. We're doing that. At what point do I just say, you know what? I'll never play from the tips, and I'm always going to shoot about an 84, 85. Like, that's just going to be my bet.
That's my
you know what I mean? Like, that's it. Like, that's that. So at what point is it like, I'm not spending any more money on lessons. I'm not buying any more new clubs. And my swing. I'm not going to go to the range 3 or 4 times this week. I'm just going to play to have fun, because I'm not going to try to get any better, because I feel like I've reached my potential.
Reach your peak.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But there's some of us who play recreationally and we don't have that in us to stop trying to get better. We're always going to try, as long as we're playing, we're always going to try to get better. I wonder if it's the same thing with some of those guys.
Yeah. Well, even the guys on it, I think thinking of the guys on the Corn Ferry Tour that have been, because like Tommy Two Gloves, I mean, Tommy's got kids and, you know what I mean? He's in his 40s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's been, I mean, he'll pop up every once in a while. He'll make it to a PGA event. But I don't think I mean, I have to look in the records, but the times that since I've been paying attention to him, that he's made it to the PGA event, he doesn't make the cut. So, you know, it was a waste of time and money. So, but again, if you are on the Corn Ferry Tour as a touring member of the of the Corn Ferry Tour,
right?
You know, because their purses are considerably higher than the APGA Tour, you can make a living. You know, I mean, you're not making millions of dollars unless you got some sponsors or something going on with that. But as far as purses go alone, you know, you're not making millions of dollars on the Corn Ferry Tour, you know, unless you win all of the events, and nobody's doing that. Well, except for the guy this week who actually won 2 weeks in a row. That's a whole nother topic, but that's very rare. You know what I mean? So in 2 weeks, he made $200,000. Yeah, you know, that guy.
Right.
You know, so yeah, if you're on the Corn Ferry Tour, if you're a regular member of the Corn Ferry Tour and you play in all the events and you make all the cuts, then yeah, you can make a, you know, I don't know what people consider good or bad living, but I'm gonna assume you can make at least $300,000.
Okay.
A year on the Corn Ferry Tour if you're playing all the events.
Oh, you just Corn Ferry.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm just Corn Ferry.
Okay,
and you making cuts, obviously making cuts. You can probably make $300,000 a year.
So did you guys hear about JT's good deed? What he did because this ties in with that.
Yeah, he cut somebody a check, right?
Yes, he did. So segment we call Reading with Vernon Brown, Credit Golf Digest. One of the feel-good stories of the season had been Michael Visacki, a 27-year-old mini tour legend who made a 20-footer to qualify for to earn his first career PGA Tour start at the Valspar Championship.
Is this the guy who cried? Like he called his dad and like, Dad, I did it. Dad, I did it.
Thanks to JT, his story will continue a bit longer. He played this week at Colonial on a sponsor's exemption, to your point, LB, missing the cut. There are plenty of avenues for him to return to the top ranks, but the hard truth about mini tour life is that it costs a lot to compete for only a little. To stay afloat, he has taken jobs working in cart barns and pro shops to support his dream, and helping with that dream is Thomas. During Sunday's PGA Tour live broadcast, announcers noted that Thomas, who finished tied 40th, cut him a check to ease those financial burdens. So, and the part that got me was 27-year-old now, mini tour legend. Now, legend, it connotes, you know, a long time.
Right.
He's 27. So how long has he been at, and this 27 is young.
Right.
So how long has he been at this? So if you're on the or I don't, like LB said, I'm not picking on APGA. I'm not picking on any APGA players.
Just using it as an example.
Just using it as an example to highlight how difficult it is. If you're like 34 and you've been kicking around, taking L's, and maybe you got like 2 wins on that joint. Like what? You can't lie to this. Like there has to be a day where you wake up in the quiet of the morning, nobody's around, and you just say to yourself, like,
"This ain't it." You know, I tried. I gave my best shot.
There's just no way.
Yeah.
And it's got to be frustrating because I mean the differences between like us and guys who are on the Corn Ferry Tour, APGA Tour, these mini tours, night and day.
Yes.
But then the difference betwing these guys and the PGA Tour, night and day. Yes, I mean, if we were to go out and play with your run-of-the-mill APGA Tour player, we think this dude needs to be on the tour. That's what we would think.
Yes.
And he'd probably say, "There's no way in the world I can make the tour." He's like, "I just can't make. I've tried and I can't make it." And we'd be baffled by it based on how they would play. And for to us, for the most part, at least I think that's what would happen.
Yeah, because some of the shots that they were hitting, I mean, the length they got that. Everybody got length.
Yep.
You know, they just not all of them, some of them, they lack accuracy.
Right.
They lacked, like I say, recovery. Even the
how was the
stamina.
Putting?
You know what I mean? Well, putting, putting as well. Yeah, putting was
not quite as
No, it wasn't PGA quality putting. You know what I mean? I mean that's
what would you expect?
I hate to keep saying this, but that's why they're in the APGA.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But I just don't understand. I don't know when that. and everybody has to know that for themselves. When they cry uncle, say, okay, hey, I gave this my best shot. I put in 10, 15, 20 years at it. I've been, my wife's been supporting me. At what point do I say, okay, I got to do something else to take care of my family?
And you know what the move might be? You know what the move might be? Like you said, you go get a regular job, you're a teacher, you're doing something that's making you money, and you just maintain your handicap, and you go crack off at the local qualifiers every year at the U.S. Open. See if you can make, like, in terms of like, to me, well, again, this is like LB said, qualify at a 14 handicapper, not actually in the sport,
right.
But it does seem to make sense. Like, you have about as much a chance of cracking APGA, Korn Ferry, PGA as you do just being a regular scratch or better than scratch golfer. One day you catch fire and make it through the regional qualifiers and you get to the U.S. Open. Here's your chance. Here's your chance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it's not all doom and gloom, right? I mean, we had some.
No. There's some guys there's some guys that are good. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, for example, Willie Mack. I don't forget what his score was at Valhalla, but he was up toward the top of the leaderboard. Yeah. And I think almost every time I look at their leaderboards from the tournaments, he's always in the top 5,
well,
10,
you talk about mini tour legends. I mean, he's an APGA legend for the most part. For a while,
and his other brother named Tim O'Neill, who was, I think it was 50. I don't know if he's still playing anymore, but he got to 50 years old and he was still kicking around the APGA winning. Doing stuff.
I'm gonna say I wish them all the success. I just I know some of them. One guy mentioned that he had to get a job and all that kind of stuff to support himself. Because I mean, to travel, if you live on the East Coast and you're going to Scottsdale to play and to Vegas to play, you're not driving. Well, hopefully you're not driving that. You're flying. Got to get a rent a car. You know what I mean? And you got to feed yourself. That stuff is not. And I believe most of their tournaments are $400 entry fee on top of that.
Wow.
So to do all that to come home with nothing, multiple times, that can get
in the negative. Well, I've been in the negative.
Yeah, absolutely. That's tough.
More time on the APGA than I thought we'd spend on the show. Let's move to the PGA Tour, where Jordan Spieth, ran down by Jason Kokrak on the final day. So here's the thing, and so as this whole thing is happening, Jason Kokrak's up by 2 strokes on the back 9, and I sent a text to the group text. And I'm trying to be self-reflective, and I don't know why his comment about striking fear in the hearts of golfers irritated me so much when he said it a few years ago. But I'm never going to let him live that down, and I feel like I'm a bad person for always bringing it up. But Kokrak's up 2 strokes. And he's just like a machine. I mean, he seems unfazed. And so I text the group, says, I wonder if Jason Kokrak feels that fear in his heart that Jordan Spieth was talking about a few years ago when he says that he strikes this fear. And it's like, no, he doesn't. And he didn't feel that fear. He ends up winning. And Spieth had a 1-shot lead going into the final round and didn't close it out.
I think he went +3 on the last day.
Right. And so Kokrak wins. We'll take your comments. We'll go Vern and then LB, if you have any at all. And then LB, after yours, just go ahead and let's do some Many Millions.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I wasn't able to watch much. We had a whole Memorial Day situation and watching the rain crush all of our dreams for playing golf multiple times, or at least my dream. Playing golf multiple times, wanted to play at LP. But when I did catch up on the recap, so you can see Claude seasoning it with his bias when he says Spieth ran down, walked down. I was like, I really watched the recap, but they were kind of like basically a stroke apart. And then Kokrak, they were both making aggressive shots at the holes, and I think it was on like 13. Kokrak had a close call, almost went in the water, but didn't. Clutched out. And then I think it was on 18 when Spieth put his in the water. But he was, to give Spieth credit, he was being aggressive all day. He wasn't laying back. He was trying to shoot his shot, but he just came up hella short. You know what? In the grand scheme of things, listening to his comments during the round where he's just like, you got to trust. You know how he talks to himself. You got to trust yourself. He is relatable in that way. And I'll say that there's a lot of stories. There's going to be a lot of, or there already is today, a lot of commentary about like, still having Sunday trouble, blah blah blah. But I would say this is a net positive for Jordan Spieth. Like, talking about this year, 2021.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
in the grand scheme, it's like cool. What did he play? Second, third, whatever. I don't know where he finished.
Second.
Yeah, you're good, bro. You got to win because before this year, we were talking about like, oh, will he ever find glory?
Will win again, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just baby steps, homie. Baby steps. And just don't say the comment again about how you're gonna make him afraid and you'll be fine. He'll creep back in, he'll creep back up there and start, you got your one win. You're not gonna be going back to back. They thirst for it. They are thirsting for it on the commentary.
Oh,
side.
yeah.
You could almost hear it. Like I felt in the final round, like as if the commentators were almost disappointed when Jason Kokrak was, nailing putts and stuff and taking leads. And as if, if Jordan was doing it, I felt there would be much more excitement in the voices. You know what I mean? It's like they want him to win, and they do the same thing for Rory, and that's fine. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a jerk.
Give you like a passive aggressive post game. We're here with the winner, Jason Kokrak. Tell me about 18. He just starts talking. Well, I put it there. That's great, man. That's great. Look, hey, listen, congratulations. Yeah. Anyway, Jordan, come over here. Jordan. Hey, Jordan.
Right. When I heard get Kokrak out of here and interview Jordan.
Well, congrats to him though, because he's a multiple winner on tour this year. So
that's it. Okay.
Yeah, this is his second win. So he said, put some respect on my name. Look, young Kokrak finna be here for a long time. Get your beats ready.
Again, could be a rapper name. Could be Kokrak.
Young Kokrak.
You know what I mean? Kokrak. So I'll tell you, I watched zero of this tournament.
Yep.
I did follow a little bit. I saw like Phil was missing the cut and all that kind of stuff. But especially when I saw Sergio in the top 10, I was like, oh, I ain't watching that.
Did you see Phil's comment, LB? Did either of you see Phil's post?
I did see somewhere he said something along those lines where I didn't make the cut or something. Hey, but I won the PGA last.
That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said. He said, "Okay, I won the PGA championship." That's why I like Phil. I say he just flexed on. Ask me, what's up? What's up? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I honestly didn't watch any of it at all. I did have some notes here that Sergio missed. Final round, Sergio went +6.
Yeah, he played horrible
on Sunday. Yeah,
he was bad.
Yeah, he finished at T20 with -4. Spieth with +3 on the final round. He still ended up in second place. That's all my notes I have. That's it.
Okay, let's go Manny Millions on this.
Okay, Manny Millions for the whatever tournament that was is DA points. He finished at +13 on Sunday. DA points went +10.
That's APGA numbers. Well, that's a good APGA number.
Solid 82.
Oh, see, I wasn't me that time, y'all. Wasn't me. That's all I gotta say. DA points is 6'1", 195 pounds. He's 44 years old. Okay. The University of Illinois is married with one Rugrat. He went pro in 1999. He joined the PGA in 2005. All right, fellas, here we go. Mr. Points has three wins. They are the 2011 AT&T, the 2013 Houston Open, and the 2017 Puerto Rico Open.
Okay.
He had 2 second places, 1 third place, 19 top 10s, count them. Out of 356 events, he has made 168 cuts.
That's not bad. A little less than half.
Yeah. Whatever. What is his career earnings? Who's going first?
I'll go first. As the winner of the last time we did this, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I'm going to say in his career, he's probably made close to $19 million.
Okay. He says 19. Vern, you going over, under?
Under. My number was 12.
12. Okay. My number is 11.8.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow. Yeah.
A little off. As far as his personal stuff, there was very little of note. The only thing they had, in which I'm like, okay, and what's your point? That he is personal friends with Bill Murray, and they play in pro-ams together. Woo-hoo.
Okay.
All right.
The points.
DA points. There you go.
Yeah.
Quickly, let me just say a little bit about the Corn Ferry because I do have notes for that. The Corn Ferry Tour, the Kitchen Aid, I'm sorry, not Untitled Champions Tour. I'm sorry, right? Reading my own notes. They were at the Evan Scholars Invitational,
right?
And Cameron Young won at -18. He had a 5-shot win, and last week he won at the Avon Health Championship. So there's 2 wins in a row, which is only think been done on the Corn Ferry Tour. I want to say 3 times, maybe something like that. It hasn't happened very often that somebody has won 2 tournaments in a row like that. So he made 108 on this one, and I think 120 something in the week before. So he had a good couple of weeks.
18 under, yeah. For the 20, he's
dealing. Yeah, and over $200,000 in prize money in the last 2 weeks. So so good for him. And our buddy Tommy Two Gloves, $60 Two Gloves, he withdrew on the second day at the turn after 9 holes. He withdrew. I'm not sure why. I did try and find out what was going on with him. That's my boy. I need to know how he's good. And I haven't found any information. So I hope Tommy wasn't injured or anything. He maybe just his pride was hurt because he knew he was making a cut, and he just like, you know what? Why am I out here hitting these balls? I can go home, man. I could be home in 8 hours.
Yeah, so, I mean, because at some point money is spent, and it's like, I'm not. Why am I going to waste my time? So,
exactly. So hopefully Tommy's not hurt or anything, and he just whatever reason, maybe he had an appointment he had to get to. Who knows?
Perhaps.
So I don't know if you're gonna get to this club, but really quick for the U.S. Women's Open. The only thing I know about it, I'm the only one who hasn't watched any LPGA stuff. I'm in it this week. We're doing it. The major, I'm there for the Olympic Club. The Quarter Sisters will be paired together for the first time ever.
Really? Get out of here.
Yes, on the opening round on Thursday.
Wow. Okay. I don't like them paired together though, man. I feel like you get more bang for your buck separating them in different groups because both of them are draws. I mean, Jessica, has a following. Nelly has a following. Right. I don't know why you'd pair them together. I would separate them, but whatever.
Yeah, they go off at 11:30 basically. So, but yeah, you can imagine they're gonna have like a massive crowd and cameras.
100%. Yeah. Now I will say this.
Well, that's assuming that they're gonna have patrons there because a lot of courses still haven't. They haven't that.
And they're at the Olympic Club too in San Francisco. So
they might be.
They may not be
more strict.
In California, they may not. They may still be real strict there. But Vern, I will say this: as someone who hasn't always or isn't like a frequent viewer of the LPGA, I feel like you've got to watch it several times to get into it.
Okay.
Watch it, follow some of the ladies, you know what I mean? Find 2 or 3 to cheer for. And I think, so you've got to commit to it to 4 or 5 tournaments.
So it's like The Wire. This is like when you recommend The Wire to your friends. It's like, listen, episode's going to be real slow. Just stick with it.
No, it's not going to be slow.
By episode 7, you're in there. Right. No, I'm not. No, that is not a knock on them. But basically, like you said, just you have to invest a little bit.
Because don't forget. I mean, it was. I feel like it was this time last year or maybe 2 years. I'm telling you, watch the LPGA, and then somewhere he starts watching it, and then bam, hooked. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if you make yourself a drink, that helps too.
Okay. All right, we'll do.
There's that. Watch the LPGA U.S. Women's Open this week, folks. The Woodlands. We got a chance to get out there and play. Vern, LB, myself, and Glenn. None of you guys had played it before, but you played Diamond Ridge.
Yeah.
Same property, but very different golf courses. I had a chance to play it once, but it was in the tournament. And so I didn't really get to experience it the way. It's just different playing in the tournament. You know what I mean? But anyway, what did you guys think of the course? I like the course. Again, I live in Silver Spring, and 30 minutes for me just going up 29 all the way up, make a turn, make another turn, and bam, you're there. Right. So not far, but a course that we don't play a lot, despite the fact that it's not that far from LB, not that far from Glenn. I guess Vern lives the furthest from it, but closer, I'm guessing closer than like a Little Bennett or Worthington.
Yes, those are a smooth hour. Like this is basically 45 to 50 minutes, so not bad.
And so to me, I love the course. I like the layout. I think the course was in great condition.
It was.
The greens are really challenging. I don't think there's one green that isn't like undulated, and I don't mean like undulated the way where there's a little break here, a little break there.
Right. Yeah.
There's some serious.
They got hills and valleys.
They have like upper and lower decks on a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hills and valleys, and a couple holes where you've got to be able to place your shot. You know what I mean? You got to play a little strategic, but then some that are wide open that you can just kind of, let it rip, or try to let it rip. I don't think that it's a tough course in the fact that tons of wooded areas and stuff like that where you lose your ball or, tons of water. But
that's about it. Yeah.
But you still got to be able to hit it because it will, before you know it, you'll put two in the woods. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Speaking from a man of experience. And so that will happen. I like the course. Here's the thing. I think I played like trash. I shot an 89, but before I would take an 89 and say that I think I played well. The problem is that when you can't keep the ball in the fairway off the tee, you don't have a shot. And that's what happened to me. I couldn't keep the ball in the fairway off.
Started off okay too, and then
I opened up with a par.
Yeah,
and I don't mean to brag, but that putt. I read that break.
Yes.
Pat myself on the back, but I'm going to go ahead and pat myself on the back. And that's not even with the new putter. That's not even with the new putter that John Ross told me I need to get. It's like I'm reading these putts and you telling me get a new putter, bro. Like I need to find a new coach. No. And so, but yeah, and so it's like start off with that. I get the par, and then I think I get a bogey, and then bam, +3 because I put 2 in the woods, and then like bogey, +2, and it's like you're adding up a lot. But the course itself is great. I would suggest anybody if you don't get out to the Woodlands, get out to the Woodlands. Yeah. Let's start with Vern. Your thoughts on the Woodlands and compare it to Diamond Ridge, and then we'll go with LB.
Yeah, everything you said, Claude. You hit it on the head. Excellent course, great shape. As it compares to Diamond Ridge, it kind of doesn't. Like LB and I played Diamond Ridge one time. It's not. I'm not going to try. It was okay. It was a couple years. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. Cool. So it was a couple years ago. Wasn't in great shape, which I don't really hold to. I don't do a one. And I think I said this at the time too, LB, because it was in bad shape when we went out there. But I was like, well, I have to come back. If I was going to hit it again, I had to come back and hit it again because you can't, every course might have a go through a thing.
Yeah, it could have just been a bad month or whatever.
But the problem is now that I've played the Woodlands, as I told, I think Glenn and Claude, now if I'm going to take the time it's hard to get tee times at these Baltimore County courses, the public tee times, because they book up quick. So as the booker, if I'm booking a time up there, I'm gonna hover over the Diamond Ridge with the mouse, and I'm just gonna be like, well, damn, I'm just gonna go get this Woodlands tee time. So I'm probably never going back to Diamond Ridge. Diamond Ridge is okay, it's fine. It kind of runs up against some apartment buildings on the backside. You can see those.
You can hear people yelling and screaming at each other, fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Diamond Ridge, Diamond Ridge is the city, and Woodlands is the county. So those of you from Baltimore,
suburbia,
you know what time it is. That's basically that's a dichotomy of the two courses. But yeah, great shape. Loved it. Again, doesn't play. I think Glenn made a good observation. I would say I think we all agreed Needwood is our 0. That's the easiest course we play. I would rate this maybe just a hair above Needwood, but not much. It's pretty. No, it's not difficult, like you said, Claude. I don't think it was hella challenging. Sorry, golf gods. I'm sorry. The golf course sound like an arrogant jerk.
Challenging, huh? Okay, all right.
But no, it wasn't like Claude said. I think it's a good season opener. I would add it to our tune up list. We finna go out, or if you got a swing change you're working on, you want to go somewhere and have a place that looks nice and can challenge you a little bit, but not punish you. I think the Woodlands is for that. So I definitely go back. Yeah,
is that you're right. If you're looking for tune-ups as you start the season, it's Needwood, Woodlands. It's not Falls Road. It's not even in the bracket that I put Hampshire Greens in. It's below that as far as challenge.
Yes.
Yeah. Only thing I would add to what you all have said is whoever is in charge of pin placement
on 18
at Woodlands, he or she was pissed off today because they put that pin on 18 at the top of a hill, basically
on a spine. If you can imagine it without seeing the green, just imagine a ridge, and they just put it right in the middle. So it's the ball's not going to stay up there. Yeah.
No, you either if you went past the cup, it went down the other hill. Yeah. If you went short, it came back to your feet. Yeah, and that's what it was. Yeah, he need to have his ass kicked for that because that was just that was
no. Well, and then there was a lot of holes where the pin was tucked right up at the front of the green,
exactly,
right by the bunkers. I mean, they had a lot of challenging pin
Mm-hmm.
placements today. No, you're right.
Yeah, it
You're
was
right,
like 5 feet from the bunker. You
Mm-hmm,
know, and you got to get over the bunker so you can never get to the flag. You know, so but the first time playing the course, I enjoyed it. I thought it was nice too. I speaking of the first hole, I had a +3 on the first hole. But then I had five pars on the front after that.
Good night.
He did. I was counting.
I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, you was
counting. Vern was
low counting my score.
Vern was low key getting upset because LB was playing so great. It's like, why are you upset that the brother's playing?
I wasn't upset. I just meant that I was also not playing great. It's like, why did we get
I didn't play great either. I had 86. I had 43 in the front and back.
Okay.
So
yeah.
And it was from 61. It wasn't from 58 or 47 or whatever hell I played from.
Yeah, if it was from there, I mean, we might have all broke 80. But one other thing about the course that I liked is that right there at the turn, they had the small snack shop.
Yeah, that was a good touch.
Get some, a quick little snack. They got the bathrooms and stuff like that. So that was a good deal. That was a good deal.
But I don't think I had a choice either because that 9 didn't end at the clubhouse. It ended. It stopped way out in the middle of nowhere. So if you didn't have any food out there, you'd be parched or whatever.
You'd be short.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, and they did have a cart going around. They had a cart going around.
Yes, she did. Yeah. So it was a good. I enjoyed it too. Like I said, for me, I think it's only one traffic light between my house and the Woodlands, and that for me is a right turn on red. So it doesn't even exist.
So I'd suggest the Woodlands. Anybody who hadn't played it yet, or maybe it's been a while since you've been out there. It's in great condition. Go out there. Play the Woodlands. You'll have a good time. I had a chance to catch back up with my guy John Ross. It's so funny. It's so funny how this season has turned out because Glenn and I was talking to Glenn about how funny this season has been with a little bit of jabbing back and forth with the guys because all up until this year, the rounds have all been just real cordial and supportive, laughing and joking. A lot of competition going on this year. A lot of talking, which is cool. And I was telling Glenn, it's going to be interesting how next year is because this year is going to be fine. Next year is going to be tough. Next year is going to be a year of a lot of talking, a lot of serious competition. I can just feel it. And so everybody's getting fitted, getting these new clubs and stuff like this. And so I texted the guys earlier this week, said, hey, going to see, it was Wednesday, going to see John Ross, got a putter fitting. But I'm tempted just to go ahead and buy this driver that he recommended for me. And, Vern responded back. Oh, maybe LB responded back like, you're going to hit that putter more than you hit the driver. You're going to need that's the club you need. And in my mind, I'm just thinking, no, my mind is saying, he's right. But my heart, is saying
your ego.
My ego is saying, forget the putter, get the driver. So what do I do? Because I'm stupid, go in and I buy both. Like, you know what? Give me both of them. Wrap it up. Call Callaway and order these things. And so we get that. But one thing he showed me the way that I'm holding the putter, which is similar to what he said with my irons, is that I'm creating like a loft in the putter. He's like, pull it forward so that it de-lost it a little bit. Right. Yeah, and that I'm taking it back. When I take it back in my backswing, I'm almost hinging it open like a door.
Right.
And when I hit the ball, I'm like pushing it. He says, so everything's going to the left. He says, how about you try just taking the putter straight back and then straight forward? That'd be $1,000. Yeah, like and buy this putter for $300. No, he says try taking it back and taking it forward in a straight line. Right. And then he noticed the fact that I think I'm looking down, like I'm looking straight down at the ball, but I'm not because the way that I'm standing over it, my head is actually forward of the ball, or
looking at the toe. I think that's what you showed.
Looking at the toe of the putter. Yeah. And he said, so we can either correct the way you're standing over it, or you can look at the heel of the putter, and then your eyes are probably basically above where it is, and you might hit it a little straighter. So try those two things. And it's weird trying that stuff after just 1 or 2 days of practicing it, and then you're out in the course and you're trying to do it. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if I putt any better today than normal. I mean, I think I putt better this year than I did last year, and
100%,
definitely better than the last 2 years. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it works. We'll see once the stuff comes in. I'm still waiting for my stuff. LB, you're still waiting for your stuff from the golf
mine
doctor.
should be here. So after last week trying to find out where they were and not being that guy who called every day, my stuff here, my stuff. I try not to be that guy. So I waited till Friday before I called him. Mm-hmm. And first he told me, I'll take that back. I called on Wednesday.
Right. And
he said it should be, I got everything. I'll have it done by Friday. I was like, okay, cool. He said he would call me. But then as time went by and it wasn't, it was getting later and later, I hadn't heard from him. So then I called him. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm working on it now. And then he said, then he said, hold on, what's your name again? And I was like, oh, here we go. So then he came back with, they messed your order up. They sent like half the shafts were the wrong length and the other ones half were straight and half were too long.
By the way, when you're the representative or the golf doctor or any kind of instructor, you can always blame the manufacturer because the customer never speaks to the manufacturer.
Exactly.
So he could, if he put in the wrong order, he could say, they got it wrong. They got it wrong. As opposed to, you know what, I got it wrong. I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying, you can always blame someone else.
You always blame somebody else because nobody, I can't do any validation. But the long and short is, hopefully my clubs will be ready this week, by mid to late week this week, and I'll be able to pick them up. So
take them out to Maryland National.
Yeah. Well, if I get them, I'm playing them. Trust me, believe.
Oh, I know.
I get them. They going in the bag, and I'm going to the range, and then I'm playing with them from that point forward. They will be in my bag. There's no going backwards.
Mm-hmm. No, it's just a whole different level of anxiety for me when you get the new clubs, and then you've got to play with them because it's like now you've upgraded clubs.
Right.
Let's see what happens.
You want to see instant changes into your distances and everything else.
And if you're still trash, it's like
it's going to be a process.
And when my new driver comes in, I'm just going to talk to John Ross. It's like, I don't care what you think is good for my game. I don't care what plan you have for me with these lessons. We're doing 2 to 3 straight lessons with the driver. We're not doing anything else. I understand that we're probably better off if we do some iron stuff.
Do some putting.
whip out the 7-iron and let's work on the inside to out. And let's do it. Not doing it. No.
I'm hitting bombs.
Listen, I'm going to give you the plastic. I'm giving you the credit card. I'm paying for these lessons.
Yeah.
They have to be with the driver. Mm-hmm. That's it. Period.
You don't spend $400 for a driver not to hit it.
Exactly. I'm not going to give you these lessons and then you're going to tell me what we're going to work on. I'm going to tell you what we're going to work on. And I understand, and I understand that is probably the most destructive thing I can do with it. But I'm excited about the driver. I'm excited about the driver. And I'm watching Vern hit, 280, 300 every single time he hits the ball. So it's like, I got to keep up, man. I got this new driver. I need to
get you some swing sticks, man. You got to do like
even Rodney has the swing stick. Didn't he say Rodney bought some?
He sure did.
Yeah,
he sure did.
I found a trick with Rodney though. See, Rodney doesn't care how he plays with us. He just wants to make sure he's beating those 70-year-old guys down here in Louisville that he plays with when he plays from 4,800 yards. He don't care how he plays. He don't care about because he plays with us about maybe once a year.
PGA the Champions
more
Tour,
than us, obviously. But he don't care what we got to say about anything. That's why he got those iron head covers. He don't care what we have to say about nothing. It's the 70-year-old men that he wants to beat. And as long as he's beating them, he don't care what we have to say. Imagine how many green. Because I'm gonna tell you this: Rodney's going to build up his swing speed and he's going to build up his power and his distance with the sticks.
Yeah,
he's still going to play from 4,800 yards. He's not going to move back.
He's not going to move back.
He's just going to drive every green when he playing with these old dudes. And he's going to be taking their money and punishing them. That's what's going to happen. We know that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know what? To be honest with you, if I was Rodney, I'd be doing the same thing. I would do the exact same. I would do the exact same thing. I was tempted today to say, why don't we're at the Woodlands. Let's check. Let's test our luck. Let's just move up to what was it? It was like 52 or something like that. Let's move all the way up. Let's see what's going on. Yeah. Let's see if we can break 80.
Yeah.
We need to do that one round. We need to do it one round.
Perhaps.
Well, you got the scorecard right there.
Saying it, nobody listens to me.
Perhaps we do. Here, the one point I didn't make last week that I thought of after the show that I thought I could make it now since you brought it up. In terms of like what you did, Louisville and everything else, playing a point against. Playing from that close, if you were playing from that close and you talk to one of them 70-year-olds, he would be mad as hell. It's disrespect. He would say that's disrespectful as hell to me as a 70-year-old. You 57 and you 34. If because think about what a 7-year-old would give to be 60 again. Shit, let alone, I'm sorry, but let alone 38, 34. And then I come up and I show up here on the T box. What are you doing up here, youngster? Well, the game is hard, so I play where you from. If I was 70, I'd be like, no.
You get back there.
Pick up a weight, go jog, do something, get your behind back there and play where you're supposed to play from. You know what I'm saying? Don't be up here. It's disrespectful to 70-year-olds. Don't be up here giving up. What's the saying? Youth is wasted on the young. Don't let it be wasted on you. Youth is wasted on you. But I'm down. I'm down for the experiment, though. I'm down for the experiment to do it one time and one time only. And like Claude said, the other end of that is going to like a course maybe that we played before. We don't mind losing the money, or maybe a nice course, Claude, and playing from just not even keeping score. Just go to the tips, just like Eric Anders Lang or something. Just see what happens. How bad it is. Yeah.
What we should do is, play a course that one of the courses that we play here that we consider
the same course. The same course from the tips and the same course
from up front.
Right. And see the difference in the scores. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. And maybe a course that we consider an easy course.
Northwest.
Yeah. Shout out to Mediocre Golf Podcast, who for some reason loves Northwest. I mean, and the funny thing is, I listen to these guys. Now, I mean, they're fun. I mean, I like their show. But it's so funny. They, for some reason they love Northwest. I don't know what it is. They love Northwestern.
They probably beat us there. Oh, Rattlewood is dope.
Well, those guys play from the tips. From what I understand, one of the dudes from listening to the show is like a 6 handicap or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they probably gonna do us. And I do rock Rattlewood. I like Rattlewood. Yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah, I like Rattlewood too. We haven't played in a while.
No, we'll put it on the road. But we got Pinehurst coming up, man.
Yeah, gotta get ready
to that.
So today I went walking. I was
going to say one thing about Pinehurst. Remember, we were talking about the fact that we have to play in February. We were like, we'll just walk a lot, man. We'll walk going up to, leading up to the thing. We haven't walked outside of the little 9-hole stuff that we play with Manny. We haven't walked. Of course, we haven't walked that one.
Yeah. But so today, I did go up to the track. My wife and I went up and we walked. I walked more because somebody got tired first and then we had to leave. I won't say who that was, but it wasn't me. If you take 6,000, I did 6,500 yards.
Okay.
Just as an example, it's only like 3.6 miles or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that much.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I think, I don't know what your cardio stuff is at. Mm-hmm. But for me, I'm not worried anymore. Because I thought in my mind, I just thought it was gonna be more.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, here's the thing: you're not even walking at at a runner's pace,
right?
You're walking. I mean, it's not
right. And we're gonna have caddies just carrying my bags. So I'm not lugging no bag. You know what I mean? I'm not pushing no cart. I'm just walking. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm gonna be okay. I don't know about you two, but I think I'm gonna be okay.
I'm gonna reveal. I'm gonna do a tease here for. I think the next 2 episodes there will be. There will be a surprise for Pinehurst.
A surprise to Pinehurst.
Coming from Brown, coming from Vern.
Okay.
There will be a
surprise. I love it. That's a great tease.
Yes.
Coming up in the next episode or next 2, there will be a surprise.
Will it be positive or negative? Who knows?
Right. Yeah,
I have something for the group.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Well, I know I'm gonna keep doing I probably won't go up there no more because they're walking. Let's pain in the ass. I can just do elliptical here in the house.
I have an elliptical here in the house too that I've been on for.
So I'm just gonna hit the elliptical and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, the show went long, but who thought we'd spend that much time on the APGA? I mean, geez Louise.
Yeah.
You think that, man. As much time as we spend on it, maybe they need to become a sponsor of the show.
Good luck.
But they don't seem to care about advertising or media.
They didn't want to talk to me, so
yeah, they don't.
Maybe my persona wasn't right or whatever, but he looked at me like, yeah, whatever, dude. I get to you when I get to you.
Yeah.
And that was never.
Yeah. Well, like I told him on the golf course, just watch out for that APGA feature on No Laying Up and ESPN. It's coming up anytime. It's coming up any second. It's coming any second. But I ain't gonna throw no shade. Like we will support the players. Shout out Trey Craig from Richmond.
Yeah.
And JP Thornton and my man Joe Hooks. Mm-hmm. I know he had he didn't play as well as he wanted or whatever, but he still came over and talked to the homie.
Yeah.
LB or whatever. So shout out to all of them for being down. Anybody said any mini tour guys want to talk to, be down to come on talk about the life. I'll pitch you.
Yeah. Because I really would like to hear some of from their mouth, what
like a candid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because in the interview that you all will hear at some point, JP talked about what his plans was, how he saw himself getting to the PGA Tour. And he talked about his, what the process is, because I didn't know what that was. Right. It was good to hear somebody, from their perspective,
an actual player,
right, how that happens. And the more he explained it, the more I was like, "Oof, that's it's not to say it's not easy. It's not easy to make it on that from the APGA to get to the PGA. That path has got a lot of hills and hurdles in it. Yeah. So anybody who does make that journey, dude,
more power to you.
Congratulations, because you went through hell to get there.
No question.
So yeah.
All right. Yeah, we'll have more on. So we'll do the U.S. Women's Open next week, and we'll see if Vern's got his surprise for us next week, and if LB has his clubs. We'll get a check out on all that stuff next week. All right, folks, it's Golf DMV.